Welcome back to the Retire as You Desire show. Have you ever worried about being taxed on your income in retirement? But what about if you lived abroad? Have you ever thought about moving to this exotic country, moving to a new place, starting a new life? I know people who have done this, and I know people who are planning on doing this. So I thought about creating a great show today to give you some of the ins and outs as to what it takes to move abroad. And one of the big topics is, am I going to be taxed on my investments in retirement if I live in a country outside of the great United States of America? So that's what we're going to talk about in this segment. Now, so many factors to consider here, a ton of them. One of the biggest factors to consider is the country of your citizenship, the type of retirement income, and the tax laws of that country where you reside outside of the United States. Just like your Social Security income, there may be tax treaties in place between the countries that you want to retire in and the United States. But let's talk about some key points to consider before you make the big move, and these are very important. So some people think if I move outside of the United States, I'm not going to have to pay taxes anymore in the US. It's probably not true. If you're a US citizen and resident, and if you have worldwide income, the United States taxes your worldwide income, regardless of where you live. And yes, that's a big bummer. This isn't a way to potentially get out of paying your taxes or your tax bill. This means that you're going to need to report all of your income, including retirement income, from foreign sources on your US tax return. So if you're living abroad, even if you start a company there, you're going to need to report that on your US tax return. Now, sometimes you can get what's called a foreign tax credit. This is a great thing for you because you may be eligible for this tax credit to help offset some of your US taxes. This could be a deduction to help you mitigate double taxation if you pay taxes on the same income in another country. So working with a financial advisor who understands this is critical, super critical. Now, most people think I don't need to file taxes if I live outside of the United States, and I'm going to say you're probably incorrect on that. You're going to want to file your annual tax return with the IRS, even if you're living outside the United States. And if your foreign financial accounts exceed certain thresholds, you may also need to file an FBAR. Now, this is called a foreign bank account report, so that it shows your tax obligations in other countries because the US wants to know these things. Now, there's going to be different taxation in different countries wherever you move to. There may be local tax laws. The country where you reside may also have tax on your retirement income. And this is a problem. We don't want double taxation. And the specific rules, they vary widely between each country. So it's super essential for you to work with your tax professional and your financial advisor to understand these laws before you move. Now, if you have a pension, and we already talked about your Social Security, some of these countries do tax pensions. And you're probably thinking, why do they have access to my money and taxing my money if I didn't live there and make the money there? Well, it's just part of their agreements with the US. There may be tax treaties, and this may be a big decision as to where you retire as you desire in retirement. Now, the US does have tax treaties with a lot of countries because we have great diplomatic relationships with a lot of them. These treaties can help, hopefully, affect how your retirement income is taxed, and may provide you with some exemptions or reduced tax rates in other countries. Here's some provisions. Tax treaties often have specific provisions related to pension and Social Security and other types of retirement income, and it's really important to consult a specific treaty between the US and your country of residence, the one that you want to move to. And then there's types of retirement income. You have your Social Security benefits, which is taxed by the US if you hit certain taxation limits. The Social Security benefits are generally taxable by the United States, but the tax treatment of the country of your choice is going to depend on the local laws and any applicable tax treaties. Foreign taxes are a bummer if you're going to be definitely double taxed. Some countries may not tax your Social Security because of their relationships with the US, but you're going to be living there and you may be part of a universal tax plan. Some of your taxes may pay for your health insurance, and that's why there may be taxation in certain countries. Now, foreign pensions, if you receive a pension in another country, both in the US and the country of your residence, it may be taxed, and this may be a problem because they may be taking a lot of money out of your monthly paychecks, and that's part of your foundation in retirement income planning. If there is a foreign tax credit, this could be huge to help avoid double taxation. Now, as I'm sure you're aware of this, every country has different laws, different regulations, but from your investment standpoint, if you are withdrawing money from an IRA or a 401k, understanding this from a practical step standpoint is so critical. Work with a tax professional, work with a financial advisor who is educated on these areas. There are probably specific tax advisors who work with expatriate tax issues. They could be a huge benefit just to do a consultation meeting and pay for their time to understand what's available to you before you retire as you desire outside of the US. This way you could look to minimize tax obligations and help your tax situation and understand these different tax treaties that are there throughout the world. And all of the relevant tax treaties are very important to understand and how it really works with the IRS and other countries. This tax advisor could potentially provide a ton of guidance for you and show you how to keep as much money in your pocket as possible. There are some other things that you want to keep really detailed records of, and this comes down to your records of income. Where are you receiving money and income in retirement? Where did you pay these taxes? You're going to want to keep a file of all relevant financial documents to give accurate reporting and stay in compliance with both the US and any foreign tax laws. So keeping accurate documents is crucial. Your financial advisor and your tax team could help you with this. And this is another great reason to work with someone who is up to date on the tax law changes. If you're living abroad and if the US tax laws change, it may have a huge impact on your future dollars that are available to you in retirement. Because in theory, if the tax rates go up here in the United States, while you're living abroad, you may not be aware of this. And a quick fact for you all, in 2026, it is likely that we may have a new tax code here in the US because they're set to expire in 2025. So if you're able to utilize the tax code in the US and you don't have double taxation in a foreign country, the country that you want to retire in, this could really help you reduce your overall tax burden and potentially keep more money in your pocket, which is really the name of the game in retirement. So here's some great action steps to do step 1 through step 3 before you make the move to live somewhere else in retirement. Number 1, get your team together. Work with a financial advisor, work with a tax professional if you don't love doing this stuff yourself. If you're one of the people who are watching this show who are a do-it-yourselfer, as our industry says, that's amazing. You've probably done a great job over the years of saving, putting money away, and planning. You love doing the research. God bless you. It's amazing. most people don't love doing that homework. So find the right tax professional from a tax standpoint and the right financial advisor who can help you get you over that finish line. But also, step 2, really narrowing down what your tax burdens could be if you move abroad. If you do make this step, understand what the timeframes are. So when do those taxes actually kick in the next country? And put a plan together, some different scenarios for income in retirement that show your taxation. That's important. And then step 3 is go enjoy your life. If you want to move abroad, go do that. But take the steps from this episode, from Social Security, your health insurance, your taxation, and then the next segment about countries to live in. These are all really important steps, but don't forget to go live and enjoy your life. That's what the Retire As You Desire lifestyle is all about. So tune in to the next segment. We're going to discuss some really fun countries to potentially move to that have great tax visas and investment visas that are available to you in today's market. Here we go. Let's get into some of these really incredible places to move abroad and retire abroad that potentially could give you affordable housing and also give you an investment visa where you could actually become a resident of that country. Now, there are several options around the world that cater to different countries and budgets. And really, this is a big one, your preferences, the things that you want to do with your time.